It is exactly 10 p.m. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. With me, Sharon Kyomugisha. Welcome. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day. Coming up, water in schools attracts learners in Karamoja. General Kainerugaba launches monthly cleaning exercise in Entebbe municipality. University alumni to build a law school block at Mkozi University. And lastly, Plascon awards makeovers to top women athletes. Hello there, welcome to UBC News Tonight. Once again, my name is Sharon Kyomugisha. In UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has met the Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba to Uganda, Rwanda and Kenya, Dr. Tanya Perez, with whom they discussed further cooperation in the education and sports sector. Now, the meeting took place at State House, Nakasero, and Senino has more on this report.
The meeting between the First Lady and the Cuban envoy took place at State House Nakasero and was also attended by the State Minister for Sports, Honorable Peter Ogwang, the Vice Chancellor Ambara University of Science and Technology, Professor Celestine Obuo, the Chair National Council of Sports, Ambrose Tashobia, and the National Council of Sports General Secretary, Dr. Patrick Ogwell. Others were senior technical officers from the Education and Sports Ministry, led by the Director for Higher Technical Vocational Education and Training, Dr. Jane Egao. Mrs. Museveni talked about the historical cooperation between Uganda and Cuba, and particularly lauded the work done by the Cuban professors to train doctors at Mbara University since its inception in 1989. She said that because of the humility and skills imparted by the dedicated Cuban professors to the doctors as they work with the communities, those trained from Mbara University have a good name and a comparative advantage over many trained elsewhere.
When they have a hospital in a place, they ensure that the hospital works with the community. They have people who go to different places to attend to people, to check on children, to do all things without waiting for people to be sick to come to the hospital. They ensure that there are different doctors going to every area, that the areas surrounding the hospital, so that instead of waiting for people to be sick and come to the hospital, they go to the homes and check and know how people are living, their health, their nutrition, their sanitation, everything, children. So really, such a method of work, it would do so much for us in this country. Instead of waiting for people to be sick, to all converge at the hospital and wait for very few doctors, if we had such a method of work, it would do, and so no wonder that they do so well. And they plan so well. If anybody has any problem in this village, the hospital knows about it before they complain. So they plan for it. When the person comes to the hospital, they are planned to take care of their problem.
The First Lady requested the Cuban ambassador to explore the possibility of her government cooperating with Uganda's education sector in the area of skills development and technical education, by training the trainers, who will in turn train instructors.
The Cubans do their work in a unique way. So I'd like to explore through you, Madam Ambassador, how we can tap into that area of technical instruction, technical education, with hands-on people who train, the trainers, for instance, in the area of road construction and dam construction. is an area I would like you to consider and see whether there is any way we can cooperate in that area also.
The meeting also talked about renewal and deepening of the cooperation in sports between Uganda and Cuba, especially in boxing, which Cuba has been supporting for some time, now through the training of local coaches, so as to develop the boxing sport in the country to a greater level. Ambassador Tania Perez said the Cuban government is ready to receive the technical delegation and proposal from Uganda to renew the bilateral cooperation in sports.
In terms of education, it's very interesting because we are sure that we have many potentialities in order to share the better experience. In terms of Embarara University, we have a long history, an important political cooperation,
Right.
very important, is now the only bilateral cooperation project between Uganda and Cuba.
Okay.
So we need to defend it.
Honorable Peter Ogwang assured the process of renewing the cooperation in sports in full gear. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
The Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has rallied Ugandans to desist from littering garbage. These were part of General Muhoozi's remarks as he launched the nationwide general cleaning exercise in Entebbe City, dubbed Bulungi Bwansi, which is going to happen every last Saturday of the month. Onyango has more details on this report.
By 7 a.m., boda operators had already gathered in Kampala City to activate the Entebbe General Muhoozi trip. The trip through the city center and along Kampala-Entebbe Road left a long traffic jam for some good hours. Led by the National Vice Chairperson, Western Uganda MK Movement, Barama Rugahara, team made a triumphant entry into Entebbe City. The tree planting campaign that was graced by General Muhoozi Kainerugaba was among the many activities by the MK Movement team and members of the general public. As he chose to tour around Entebbe to appreciate facilities like markets, taxi parks, among others, this moment left business and traffic on a standstill for close to 1 hour. Cheers, chants and dances lit up the day. Later, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba addressed the general public at World Grounds in Entebbe City.
We shall be holding this on the last Saturday of every month. They say cleanliness is next to God. We have a responsibility to maintain clean bodies. And a clean environment. If you do not maintain clean hygiene as a person, all kinds of diseases will affect you.
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba challenged Ugandans to champion the cause for preservation of the environment.
If we do not maintain a clean Uganda, our standard of living will also not be good. I urge all the forces of the mighty MK movement to embrace the practice of Bulungi Bwansi. We are also going to be planting trees. Every Bulungi Bwansi day we shall plant trees. Trees are the key to a good environment.
He further notes that it is through such communal activities like Bulungi that Uganda can be a better place for all.
Please never litter. Don't litter.
Tetusulanga kasasiro.
Let's not be like people who throw bottles out of cars, buvera out of buses and taxis. Let's not be like that. First of all, who is going to pick up all that kasasiro? You are destroying our beautiful country. It's better for you to wait for a dustbin and throw your rubbish there.
Present were MK movement leaders, local leaders, among others.
We as the MK movement are not looking at only cleaning the outside. We also want to clean the system, we want to clean the act, and we want to ensure that we have a clean, safe, and corruption-free country.
We thank MK for bringing this good idea of cleaning your city, your community.
The intention is to preserve the environment and also to make our Uganda clean and smart forever. That's what he's looking at. You can't be a leader of a dirty country.
If I can compare with Rwanda, I've been to Kigali, and if you go there, the city is clean. And it is really the best thing to do.
Jerome Hoskan will now be heading to Kitgum district on Monday, 27th March 2023, where he will be expected to interact with the regional leaders. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now, the Lions Club of Uganda have conducted a women's symposium under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equity. Lions Club International District 411B Governor Christina Mongina Poru officiated the women's symposium at Silver Springs Hotel Bugolove in Kampala.
The Governor, Lions Clubs International District 411B, Uganda, Christina Mongin Aporo, has appealed to all women across the country to embrace digital innovations and technology for gender equity.
ICT, information, communication, technology, let it be compulsory in formal schooling. Let it be compulsory, and when we make it compulsory, then everybody must feel comfortable. The mothers of the nation, when you look at the percentage in the country, definitely you look at the female gender is higher.
Amongin was speaking at Lions Clubs International District 411B Symposium that was preceded by New Voices annual general meeting addressed by a senior Lions Clubs member, Vinny Tinkumanya, at Silver Springs Hotel Bugolobi near Kampala.
Under digital divide, you find that the lower access use of the digital technology actually touches us.
In her keynote address, a gender consultant, Hilda Bakubanza, appealed to women to work hard and avoid dependency on men.
Technology is a very, very fast-paced field. Just a few months ago, you're seeing something very new. So if we don't have enabling environments, enabled by technology, we are going to be kicked out of the trends, and then we shall just find the patriarchy egos to make sure they are not performing.
Other speakers at the symposium urged women to perform all works within their means to avoid negative comments by those with a gender equality bias.
In a home, whereby there are particular shows for a woman or for a girl, and there are those ones for a boy. Did God create us like that? This is society which is determining that a boy should do this and a girl should do that.
Gender equity, because gender equity and gender equality go hand in hand. Where a male is disadvantaged should be helped to catch up with a woman, and where a woman is disadvantaged should be helped to catch up with a man.
The symposium, held under the theme Digital Innovations and Technology for Gender Equality, attracted Lions Clubs International District 311B former leaders and members from across the country. So that Kaye, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Sudat Kaye. The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, has said Uganda won't yield to threats and utterances by foreign governments following its decision regarding the anti-homosexuality debate and passed a parliament bill. Now, Mao made the remarks at the launch of a fundraising event for the construction of a law block at Uganda Matters University by the institution's former students.
The Minister for Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, and the incoming president of Uganda Matters University Alumni Association, Bernard Robinson Mugaru, have officially launched the fundraising campaign to construct a law school block.
Is the Deputy President, outgoing.
During the event held at the university campus in Kozi, Norbert Mao said Uganda shall not be moved by utterances from the Western world following the passing of anti-homosexuality bill by Parliament. The founding Vice-Chancellor, Uganda Matters University, urged the alumni to stay united for the betterment of the institution and put interest of the community to the forefront than individuals.
Uganda has a duty and a right to define its moral boundaries and defend those boundaries. And we are willing to engage with the international community constructively. Many of us are Christians, and we are wondering why many people want to insult God. Why would you call God an idiot? God is not an idiot. There's a natural order that God has established. And I think on the basis of our motto, for God and my country, it is our duty to define those moral boundaries and to defend them.
The Vice-Chancellor, Uganda Matters University, cautioned the new board to always aim at raising the institution flag high.
I've been fortunate to have really linked up very well with the Alumni Association. Their attitudes, their desire to make a difference at UMU is palpable. I feel it as a Vice-Chancellor, and I would like to thank you and commend you and encourage you to continue, because we have to move UMU.
It all started on the 8th of October 1993, when, together with Mr. Bernard Onyango and the Pioneer staff, we received our first 84 students. It was a very moving moment, because for years the idea of a Catholic university had been brewing in the minds of so many people. And finally, a group of dedicated ones, under the chairmanship of the late Professor Chalwazi, obtained the go-ahead of the Uganda Episcopal Conference to set up the university.
Robinson Bernard Mugaru, the incoming president of the Uganda Matters University Alumni Association, shared his expectations about the Law Block fundraising campaign.
We are here to recognize the handover, what you would call inauguration of the new UMOA board. And that board is led by me as the president. The Alumni Association consists of over 30,000 alma maters. Those are individuals that have gone through Uganda Matters University.
Philip Aguta and Ivan Juko for UBC News.
Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, has contributed 50 million Ugandan shillings towards Dr. Chibuka Endowment Foundation aimed at helping the underprivileged. The Speaker asked parents to talk to their children on the increasing moral decadence in the country and focus on serving the Almighty as their first priority. She made the remarks at a fundraising of Dr. Chibuka Endowment Foundation at Namidiango College in Seta Mukono District.
Hundreds of Namiriango College old boys have embraced a fundraising drive of Dr. Pellegrini Chibuka Endowment Foundation. The foundation is aimed at helping the underprivileged, and it coincided with the annual Namiriango Day since its inception in 1902. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, used the opportunity to warn students on the increasing moral decadence in the country.
We promised Ugandans that we shall be a people-centered parliament. We will always work for humanity, and we have promised that we will leave the Uganda better than the way we got it. And that's why you find, on a short notice, when we are called for such a function, we are here to serve humanity. We are here to serve our nation, and we will always make sure that we do whatever we can do within our means. As Parliament, as a Speaker, as Anita Mong, Magogo, to make sure that we do what we can do.
Among promised not to increase school fees because government is to cater for their necessities.
For the strategic plan, and as we said, it was on a short notice, we are making a humble contribution of 50 million shillings.
Bishop Christopher Kakoza of Lugazi Diocese asked educationists to embrace the new curriculum and Christians to respect the fasting period.
Yesu azuzaraza n'agamba nti ye kwe kuzukira era bwe bulamu.
Namiriango College head teacher Constantine Mpuga said the school has already implemented the new lower secondary curriculum.
As Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate this year's Water Week, there's hope that it will reach the United Nations safe water coverage of 100% by 2030. This is visibly seen by the increasing number of water works across the country and drilling of boreholes by non-government organizations, as you're about to watch.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel for achieving the United Nations set target for safe water coverage in Uganda by 2030. This follows the country's national water coverage, now at 70%. The water coverage in some of the rural areas rotates around 68%, an indication for some improvement, while commissioning 13 boreholes drilled this year by the Nile Humanitarian Development Agency in collaboration with the Time to Help Netherlands in Mukono district. The project coordinator Fatima Oz called on the community to utilize and safeguard the boreholes for their own benefit.
We have one goal. It's all about humanity. And we know, as no one's under others, how important water is. That's the basic. And we are really happy that we are staying here together for this beautiful ceremony from Sidika Allah.
The Executive Director, Nile Humanitarian Development Agency, Issa Kirarira, hailed government for providing a conducive environment that favors non-government organizations in implementing programs to meet people's needs.
So we always do our programs in line with the government, and I want you to join me in thanking His Excellency the President of Uganda for being available in protecting the interests of the needy, and also encouraging the non-governmental organizations which are within the thickets of the law to continue serving people.
Residents of Mukono hailed Nile Humanitarian Development Agency for their generous contribution towards mankind.
We are here, the Alphatic Education and Orphanage Center community, thanking Time to Help for the empowerment and whatever assistance they offered us, including water. They have offered us boreholes. They have offered us dormitories to accommodate our children. They have offered us laboratories and some staff quarters and kitchen and so many other things that they bring us on other timely basis, like feedings and any other recruitment to the children.
Latter time to help Netherlands handed over food items including sugar, rice, posho, among others to the residents of Lutengo in Mukono district. The executive director, Nile Humanitarian Agency, said it's their social corporate responsibility to feed the underprivileged during the month of Ramadan.
Let us learn how to live in harmony with one another, to share. Ramadan is a month of forgiving, sharing, being available for one another, for reflecting, to correct the mistakes that you have done. It is a reminder to renew your life. So with these celebrations of Iftar, we are going to interface with this evening and with these packs from the Dutch people, Time to Help Netherlands. Really, we appreciate it with one heart.
Still in UBC News Tonight, National Children's Authority has met with religious leaders across Kigezi region to empower and train them on how to fight all forms of child abuse. The Chief Administrative Officer, Kabale District Twinom Juni Edson, officiated the event.
Probation officers in Kigezi sub-region indicate that child marriage, defilement, domestic violence and child neglect vices are high. The Executive Director, National Children's Authority, Martin Kiza, has held a meeting with religious leaders from across the 7 districts from Kigezi sub-region to discuss girl-child issues.
The one-day engagement for religious leaders coming from Kigezi sub-region, including the following districts: Rukunjiri, Kambuga, Kanungu, Ruchiga, Kawale, Chisoro and Rwanda, was purposely to promote and empower our religious leaders to ensure that they are braced and they adhere to provisions of child protection.
The Chief Administrative Officer, Kabale District Twinom Juni Edison, appealed to religious leaders to sensitize parents and children about their rights every time.
Religious leaders, you are the very people to help us. Nimwe bukutuyamba mbweru tukasindi ko kubwato bukagenda bukagera ki bukatwibuza. Nimuzaga ama radio ba shake nimbahuraga ama radio. Talk about children issues. Tell people about children. Children are being mistreated in our eyes, in our presence. You bypass children doing funny acts. You can't even stop and say, "You kids, what are you doing?" No.
District Inspector of Schools in Kabale, Navasa Wilberforce, warned the public to stop abusing children.
It is against the norms and the cultures that have made our communities to reach this level. Through that, we have also gone to various schools spreading the same message of fighting against homosexuality, the tactics and the tricks these perpetrators use to lure our children into the act.
Probation officers of Kabale, Gisoro, Kanungu and others spoke about the challenges they are facing.
Of enforcing children family laws, we should be a collective responsibility. Amaka gitaga ebirajirebi wabikwato kabita kulonjo mu maka okabyembejeza mutwe bikanikamo amaka garasigaraho.
We have poor parenting practices. Abazire kulemererwa obujunanizibwa bwabo obwo korora. It is worse today ahabwa abakazi kuba basinzi. When a woman takes to drinking, na wakatiro mrenja tunataha mhara wanangogo.
The Director, Children and Youth Affairs, Kabale Diocese, Reverend Father Kyomugisha Januario, appealed to people of Kabale to stop punishing their children.
Abuses against the children's rights, but the religious leaders do not work alone. They need the hand of the government and mainly the government has got to strengthen its system. From the LOC level, they go to the parish and to the sub-county levels, as well as venturing into the education system, because this is where the children are at all levels. So they need to venture into the education system and try to curb down the rate of indiscipline that comes up from the teachers, the head teachers and other administrators, especially against the children.
Reverend Justice Mwesige from Mohanga Parish said they are going to continue informing their congregation not to accept same-sex relationship.
When you give birth to a child, you have to do some necessities to upbring that child so that he or she feels loved and gets the basic needs. Because these days, as we have seen such things coming in different families where children are neglected.
The ongoing construction of perimeter wall at Makerere University is 97% complete and is expected to boost security at Uganda's oldest tertiary institution. Makerere University's Vice Chancellor, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, says that the university will also kickstart renovations of halls to enhance decent accommodation for students at the university.
The construction of the Makerere University perimeter wall began way back in 2017, but the project has been on and off due to limited resources. As of now, Makerere University has 3 main gates, including the main gate along Makerere Hill Road, western gate along Sapolokagwa Road, and the eastern gate along Bombo Road, and 2 small gates. The construction of the perimeter wall has seen other entries closed, like the small gate along Sapolokagwa Road, which students say will force them to move long distances to access the university.
Like students have been having a lot of routes to pass, but now when the perimeter fence comes, therefore you have to follow one route. Like when you want to come from the other side of Western Gate, you just have to move up to the other side. You have nowhere to use a shortcut.
For some time back, we have been experiencing a lot of people who come in the university without any big reasons. Only to steal. The biggest reason why they come inside is to steal. I myself has experienced it.
The wall was built according to plan, and that is intentional because most of the intrusion into the university, especially thefts of property, have been coming from that side of the university. And why we didn't put too many small gates there is because the western gate is very central. It is centrally located, so most of the hostels are actually almost on the road which is opposite the western gate.
For many years, students have raised concern over the state of halls of residence at the university. The university has earmarked 100 billion to renovate halls of residence, and the renovation will kickstart with the Lumumba Hall, which is estimated to cost 8.9 billion shillings.
Thank the government for agreeing to give us the resources to renovate all the halls of residence. We will require at least 100 billion shillings to renovate all the halls. And the government has started giving us the required money. So far they have given us 8 billion to start with the Lumumba Hall. We are going to do that in a phased manner, and we will renovate all of them.
The university is also considering a partnership with private hostels for accreditation and recommendation for new entrants to ensure safety of students.
But we have come up with a policy where we will have to accredit these hostels. And we want to accredit the hostels in order to enhance the security and safety of our students. So we will be carrying out an exercise to assess the suitability of the hostels to accommodate our students. And some of the issues we shall be looking at is how secure are the hostels, okay? Do they have enough security, not just guards, but maybe are they fenced?
With its vast land sitting on 350 acres, the university lacks a streamlined transport within the university, forcing students to travel long distances to their lecture rooms.
Where we used to allow taxis and the border borders on campus, but they had become a menace. The campus is too small for the many border borders and many taxis that wanted to service the students. So the university became a little bit congested. And so a decision was taken several years back to stop the border borders and taxis at the gates. But we are aware of the long distances, yes. But as you are aware, the world over, people are being encouraged to walk more. Yes, for their own health. So the students are actually being encouraged to walk instead of going in cars and so on. I walk home myself so that it is part of my exercise to keep fit.
Innovators have also come up with digital bicycles, where students can have them at 500 shillings to ease transport in the university.
So we have introduced a bicycle system on campus, where students can use a bicycle and up to where they are going, leave it there, and somebody else can use it.
These bikes are really important in a way that in emergencies where you need to go for maybe your meals or breakfast, so doing anything, you have to pay like 500 and it takes you 20 minutes, you're back.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Now, one of the most challenging tasks that journalists can undertake is to cover violence and terrorism occurrences which come with high risks. This underscores the need for the fourth estate to take extra precaution in paying attention to detail when providing coverage to such incidences. It is for this reason that European, in partnership with Uganda Muslim Youth Development Forum, has availed journalists with basics on professional coverage of violence and terrorism.
Scenes like this can be scary and terrifying. Property is often destroyed. Human life is lost as survivors scamper for safety. Not easy as it is, there are categories of people that cannot avoid being at the scene. Police and other security agencies secure the scene. Medical practitioners deploy to save lives as media professionals provide coverage to publicize the occurrences. But covering terrorism is one undertaking that journalists need to do with extra precaution.
It is not fair.
This is why over 20 journalists in Uganda have received basic training in covering violence and terrorism.
This training focused on different issues, really aimed at enhancing the understanding of the media of this issue, but also helping journalists to understand how sometimes indirectly they are being exploited by the extremists to advance their propaganda. And
balancing stories, verifying facts, and use of official and authentic sources were some of the areas of focus.
We encourage security actors to be more friendly with journalists. Where journalists may have committed a mistake in the way they report, let them correct them in a peaceful way, not through violence, because then violence intimidates them and defeats the purpose of encouraging media to engage on the issue.
The European Union-supported initiative has seen the area of strengthening good governance, empowering youth, as well as gender equality come into the picture.
While terrorism should not affect the importance of freedom of expression and information, media actors need to understand the issue of violent extremism and terrorism more broadly and be more aware of efforts of terrorists to instrumentalize them.
The media training is part of an 18-month initiative dubbed the Bridges to Peace Project. Media practitioners express willingness to put in practice what they have learned.
I've learned how to deal with the acts of terrorism, or when I'm writing about terrorism, I know what to write so as not to promote, not writing for the sake of writing about what has happened, but at least even to help these people, the terrorists, to stop or to come away from their behavior.
The initiative is aimed at bringing journalists on board in preventing and countering violent extremism in Uganda. It is being supported by Uganda Muslim Youth Development Forum in partnership with the Kofi Annan Foundation. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Members of Amputee Self-Help Network Uganda have they've said that they've been trekking the 80 kilometers from Kampala to Jinja. Now this they do to spread awareness, especially about roads that are a lead cause of most amputations.
The route to Jinja can be tedious, even to those that use vehicles for the 80 kilometers. Same happened to members of the Amputee Self-Help Network Uganda that annually trek that distance to spread awareness aimed at reducing accidents.
Self-Help Network Uganda is an association that comes together to ensure that these amputees get, these legs. They are called prosthetic legs. Now, every last Saturday of March each year, we organize this walk, and so many people can participate in various ways. One is we have bicycle riders who come in. We also want to expand it to also motor riders. We're talking to them. It is a very good experience, and it is so important to us because it shows that one, we care, we love, and three, it is an awareness thing so that we drive carefully. The borders, the cars, the motorbikes, anything can happen to you.
This non-government organization aims at eliminating negative energy created by stigmatizing of amputated people.
And the good thing is, once you have lost a limb, it is not the end of the world. You go back and you ensure that you success and you come and handle it.
Great cause right there. Sub-Minister for Lands Dr. Sam Mayanja has restored peace in Kanara sub-county who are facing evictions, intimidations, imprisonment from 6 families claiming their land. Mayanja said this during a meeting with over 500 households from different villages of Kachwankumu, Rinyana, Kigugu, Kimara South, Kimara 1 and Kajura held in Kanara sub-county and Toro district.
A communal grazing land of Kanara sub-county and Butungama sub-county, particularly in villages of Kachwankumu, Renyana, Chegugu, Chimara South, Chimara 1 and Kajura, is at a stage of being grabbed by some 6 individuals. A community of about over 500 households is set to lose their ancestral land to persons who had earlier helped residents in ensuring that the land legally belongs to them. The community expressed their concern to the minister on how they have suffered harassments from the sons of the 6 elders.
So, itwe nkabataka tuinousasa kusanga nti abantu abateito ombabiri basatu bana niwenda okuliamu olukwe the whole of this community kugamba community erugemu basigalemu bateito. So, itwe kabebembezi kuija kuikiriza kandi tumanya even the NRM government tekwikiriza okugenda na abateito omu babiri kandi kaleka the majority of the whole community. So wait to Honorable Minister nitumanya oizire hanu no mubazi.
The Member of Parliament Toroko Remuricha Ibanda accused leaders who connived with land grabbers to harass the community.
Minister Toro heka han hati ndesero umugwa entezi muzindetere zitwale
a win-win situation because the people there was did a lot of work. We appreciate them. They fought, but they wouldn't have turned against the rest of the people. That one was not good. So the minister promised that if they possess land title, that's when the government can compensate. How can a government compensate when you don't have a land title? 2, people shouldn't be chased, people shouldn't be touched because they have constitutional right on land. So that one is also very, very important for me as an area member of parliament. I think I'm going to sleep now.
Mayanja, however, assured community members that their land is safe.
Mubyobufuzi sikankana kubanga kakute yampa ekifo kino yenanyini buyinza bwonna omwagala musome constitutional article 99 sub article 1 egamba nti obuyinza bwonna buli mikono gya president ate eyampa guaranteed security of occupancy. Tewali n'omu akukwatako oba ekyapa kya zaabu oba kya goldi oba kya diamond kifayo bwe kifaanana naye akafo kako tewali akakwatako.
He further promised lawyers to help them get their compensation.
Judgment y'abazeeyi tugiriko organizinze tugambye nti eyo bagende bamalize n'ekyapa kyabwe tetubafaako kyekisooka. Number 2 tugambye nti constitution egambye nti oli bw'aba n'ekyapa ekyo nga kuliko abantu abo tebakwatibwako era President yakola that declaration nga 22 August 2013 n'agamba tebabakwatako n'olwekyo w'ekyapa gyali namwe buli win-win situation. Bayokora Toro no maiso gawo ayikama oije
500 freehold land titles have been handed over to residents of Sanga Town Council and Kanywedu Sub-County in Nyabshozi County, Chilhura District. The titles were processed by government and the Competitiveness and Entrepreneurship Development Program in the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development. This was revealed by the Member of Parliament, Nyabshozi County, Chilhura District, Wilson Kajwenje, while handing over 100 titles at Sanga Town Council offices and 400 of Kanyanyure Sub-County in Nyabshozi County.
The Member of Parliament, Nyabshozi County, Wilson Kajwenje, has explained that issuance of land titles to residents of Sanga Town Council and the Kanyarieru Sub-County, Chilhura District are meant to empower communities with food security, peace and stability in the region.
We are giving out freehold land titles to the project beneficiaries of SLAC. SLAC stands for Systematic Land Adjudication and Certification. It comes from a competitive project that is funded by World Bank. Nyabshozi as a constituency, they picked only 2 sub-counties. This is Kanyerieru and Sanga, and those are the project beneficiaries. We pray that once this project ends, this can extend to cover more districts in the county.
Kajwenje was handing over 100 titles at Sanga Town Council offices and 400 at Kanyarieru Sub-County to communities of Sanga Town Council and Kanyarieru Sub-County in Chilhura District.
Having a title is such an honor and privilege. They should guard their titles jealously. They should never they should keep them safely. They should never give them out as anything. A title is the only certificate of ownership of any piece of land. So you don't just give it out. They should not mortgage them for peanut.
The project coordinator Competitiveness and Entrepreneurship Development Program, Mukaga Johnson, witnessed the event and said that the land titles are those that remained after the president handed over some of them on Women's Day at Sanga.
But the people I interacted with showed me that they were going to the district land office instead of the zonal office. They didn't know the difference between the 2 offices.
He appealed to the beneficiaries to use the titles very well and protect them without laminating them and giving them to money lenders because they might lose their land.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha! Toakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100 *5# to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
The Chillax bundles from Airtel have been upgraded. Introducing Voice Chillax bundles. No validity, no expiry, no worries. Dial *100 *1#, select voice bundles and choose your preferred Voice Chillax bundle today. Talk longer with loved ones across Uganda with Voice Chillax bundles that don't expire. Airtel, the smartphone network.
With God, comfort replaces pain. Peace replaces confusion. Hope replaces sorrow. God loves you and knows you personally. He hears you and speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come hear the words God has for you. Watch the General Conference on Sunday, 2nd of April.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Still watching UBC News Tonight. In our business stories, over 400 billion is required to support recovery of factories that were affected by floods last around Bali Industrial Park in 2022. In a field tour by the Parliamentary Committee on Finance and Economic Planning, the committee established that most of the factories are at the verge of closure due to the after effect. Details follow.
The investment park is one of the largest industrial parks in the eastern region, hosting over 20 factories, including Sino Industrial Park, employing thousands in the region.
Bali Industrial Park is going to be a bit of activity because we hope to have 20,000 direct jobs, multiplied by a factor of 7, because those are indirect jobs. In the long term, we're going to have 140,000 jobs for young people in Uganda. We already have 20 functional factories set up here, and 10 factories are already under construction.
During the 2022 floods, the factory had most of the structures destroyed and others washed away. In a guided tour of the industrial park, the Parliamentary Committee on Finance and Economic Planning visited the site to establish the magnitude of the effect. In their assessment of the park, the members lauded the management of Sino Uganda Industrial Park for their resilience and steady progress in creating jobs for the locals.
We've been excited with what we found. We didn't know that actually we're now producing TVs from Uganda. We didn't know that we are producing smartphones from Uganda. Companies are coming from all around the world to start businesses here.
They further highlighted the need for the park management to also establish a one-stop center in Mbale for goods manufactured to satisfy the local demand.
Things like pens, which you could perhaps have outlets here in Mbale and supply to most of the people here. But most of our people buy the products from Kampala and bring them back here in Mbale, which is again increasing the cost and making it quite expensive for our people. So I don't know if you've looked at options of opening up outlets for most of your products here.
The chairman, Uganda Investment Authority, Morrison Rakakamba, explained that the authority is recognizing the need to promote local investment through extended support from government.
In this park and every park that we're building in this country, there is a specific acreage of land that is put there for small scale and medium enterprises. So it is going to be built here and other industrial parks across the country and handed over to the small scale and mostly really local entrepreneurs in this region and from across the country. We have got now 12 square miles of land for industrial park development across the country.
Like a model of industrial parks in Uganda. So also you're talking about UIA and NIMA, all of our factories. We must have investment license. We must have NIMA.
Susan Naung and Muhammad Iga reporting for ABC TV.
Jerry card. Jerry card. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Bang Jerry can with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mudava. Best group is I teach you. When I go to which the because of the camera is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You stay put on it. Add kilometers to your legs and you get your sugar. We buy milk from Umaru and Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Show him that they don't joke with you.
Okakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Ever wondered how Uganda's female athletes put up incredible performances and yet maintain the feminism in them? Well, as some say that being a female athlete in male-dominated sports industry, one has to forego acts of a woman, and yet some tend to differ with this. Ngabo Emon highlights what it means for women to remain fit and sexy at the same time.
At Kingdom Plaza in Kampala is a beauty shop, Alu Nails, that looks at the well-being of ladies of class. Among those that attended services of pedicure and manicure are legislators, business ladies and sports women. The work on someone's nails takes to around 3 hours, and yet the ladies are patiently waiting. But to a sports lady, one would wonder if they have the patience to sit still for 3 hours to have nails done.
I think if anyone feels like they want to, get the nails done, their feet scrubbed or anything, I think it's okay. Just because we are sports people doesn't mean we don't get to take care of our nails. Yeah.
It feels so great as sports women. People think that we can't look good, but it's part of life. We have to look nice. I feel so good after the thing. Yeah. We have to look good because as women, it's part of life. Looking good, it's part of us. Yeah, we have to look good.
But as it is certain that being a sports personality doesn't change the fact that you are a female and need to look beautiful.
Nails, but for them we do them, it is very important, but for them we do them short ones. We don't make them like long ones because they can be playing and another, you can scratch another friend, so we keep them short.
And watching some of the women rugby games and other games, the kind of rough and physical contacts, you would think that these ladies don't spare time to look beautiful. And as we conclude the month of women, Plascon has added color to the women in the country through empowerment and offer to more than 30 ladies to have their nails worked on.
We have very many women that are connected to the brand as Plascon, and we thought of as Plascon a colorful world. How can we give back to women? We decided to look at a way that is very colorful and very meaningful to the women, and the only way we thought about that is painting, putting different colors on their nails, coloring their world. We decided to look at the different ladies that are in the sports field. For example, cricket, football, she cranes of netball. Those ones are well known to all of us. So these are people that have put our country to an international scene. They are, we can talk of the she cranes, these are number 6 in the world. So they are doing great. They're putting our country out there. So we also decided to give back to these ladies. We thought of a way that they would also appreciate and also bring out the feminism in them.
Female athletes and leaders are undeniably more visible and increasingly successful in sport, putting in incredible performances both on and off the field. But these achievements still occur in a male-defined sports sector where female stars have to tackle marginalization and sexualization of their sports performance and leadership skills.
Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a lovely night. God bless and a lovely week ahead.